So the clouds were heavy and ominous and filled the sky, and the rain was pouring down. Drops pelted me in the face as I ran, but I didn't care. I kept my head up, peering in the distance. My clothes were soaked, and my shoes squished with every step. But I didn't notice, because I had something in my hand that was burning, and something in my heart that was dying to be let out. As I came around the corner of an old brick building on the University of Montana campus, I could make out a blurry image of Sean Gray standing with a giant smile on her face. And when I held the key to my very own apartment up, the sky illuminated. I said, I made it. Because that key was not just a key. It was a symbol of hope and of freedom. A symbol of opening the door to my life. My life that I was so proud to say I had achieved. My life. I almost didn't make it, though. It was a long journey. It all began on July 18th, 1987 in Great Falls, Montana. Born to James and Shelley Clark, I quickly learned how to cope in an abusive household. Maybe the extent of the abuse can be explained by as early as 2. My alcoholic father came home drunk and armed. He had a gun that he chased my mom around the house with. And when my mom was too fast for him, he hit her in the face with the butt of it, smashing out all of her front teeth. The police were called, but we always went back to my dad. I grew up this way, never knowing anything different. I thought it was normal to fear my life and my family's lives. And then around the awkward adolescent years came around, my mom courageously picked us up and moved out and left my dad. We moved into my grandma's house. But realizing my entire life before me had been a lie, and not trusting what the future would bring me, I turned to drugs for a foundation. I started drinking on the weekends, and then when I realized that my father didn't care, I moved back in with him. Now that I was the only one around, all of his abuse was directed at me. But that was the sacrifice I paid for the drugs and alcohol he supplied. By 14, I was drinking and smoking pot every day. By 15, I was kicked out of school, home, drinking, snorting, smoking, anything I could get my hands on. At the age of 16, I was caught with a felony amount of drugs and put in jail. Then on house arrest, back at my father's house. Under high supervision, I wasn't allowed to use, it wasn't possible, and I had to face life at my dad's house. I couldn't handle it, and I went to the pill cabinet and took all of the pills. Laying alone in the hospital bed that night, I told myself, Stephanie, you have to change.